welcome everybody. So today I'm just actually working on my first journal spread of 2019. So right now I'm just spreading some glue all over. You can use different types of adhesive glue. I'm just using some Dove Craft that I had left over, and so I'm layering on some spotty silver tissue paper. So I just think that it needs a little bit extra, so I've got this butterfly tissue paper which I'm using to create a nice layered effect, and I'm just adding that on top of the spotty tissue paper. I'm actually trying to be careful to keep the patterning of the butterflies whole. So I was actually thinking of keeping this a one-page spread, but as you can see with this butterfly going over to the other page, I quite like that idea, so I decided to make it a two-page spread. I'm just using up the last of this Dove Craft glue. So I'm thinking it needed some extra colour, and I'm using this light blue tissue paper to add little splashes of colour on the page. This is actually quite relaxing. So just so that I can ensure a thin layer, I'm just squeezing the glue into this little glass pot and using a sponge paintbrush. It just helps in layering the glue a thin layer so you don't get globs, big globs everywhere. So the tissue paper is ripped, but that's okay. For me, I quite like the creative look of it. So I'm just feeling to see if it's dry because I'm quite impatient. So normally you'd actually let this dry before continuing on. So I'm now adding some tissue paper gold stars. To be honest, at the beginning I didn't really have a theme of what I wanted the page to look at. So I'm just kind of going along with the materials that are around me and yeah, just expressing myself creatively with the tissue paper. So there we go. And I actually like the shimmer that the silver dots are actually giving off. So I'm just going to cut the overhang of the tissue paper that is hanging off of the edge of the paper, just to neaten those up. So there we have it, the first sort of base layer of my journal layout, and I'm pretty pleased with it. I like the way that it turned out. So guys, unfortunately, when I was actually using my stamps to create those bright pink stars, I actually used an acrylic stamp for that, and I'm not sure if you can see, there's some black writing and it actually says "and the story begins." That was actually created using a wooden block stamp and using some black stays on ink. But unfortunately, as I was I thought I was recording and I wasn't, basically. So now I'm actually looking at washi tape to add, just to give those edges a more finished look. And I'd also added some ephemera that I had gotten as well in the background. So there we go, ready for me to journal.